All right, so we're going to talk about the lesson numerical expressions. I want to show you how to do the guided practice. Now, obviously, you're going to want to watch this video first on the lesson. It's going to kind of talk about how to do an example of this. But we're going to focus on the guided practice with numerical expressions. Now, if I'm looking at this first, I'm noticing that it kind of looks like a word problem, which means I might want to use my tools, and you'll notice that I've done this, and I want to highlight what the question is actually asking. So we read the question. Nora's mom, so who? Nora's mom, wrote these expressions to describe how far they will drive each day on their upcoming road trip. On which day will they drive the farthest? So when I'm seeing the farthest, I'm looking for the day they drove the most miles. So I'm looking at road trip plan. I see that Friday they drove 240 miles. It's just written point blank 240. On Saturday, I'm seeing that it's 2 times 240 miles. So what's interesting about this is if I look at Friday right here, that's 240 miles times 1. Obviously, 240 miles times 2 is going to be twice as far as that. So Saturday is already bigger than Friday, so we don't need Friday anymore because we're looking for the farthest day. I also know that it's going to be farther without even having to calculate it because I'm multiplying by a number greater than 1. I'm not multiplying by a fraction or a decimal, so this means that my product of 2 times 240 is going to be greater than 240. Now, if I look down at Sunday, because we want to check all of our possibilities, I notice that 240 is there, and then I see that we're subtracting. We're taking away from that. So that can't be, in this case, more than Saturday, because Saturday we're multiplying by. So Saturday would be our best choice for which day they drove the farthest. Now, I don't need to calculate it. I just need to use my math brain. If you want to calculate it, go for it. All right? There's a video down here that'll explain it, just in case you get tired of listening to me explain it. And then we have these numerical expressions. Now, I'm going to show you some examples over here. So when they're saying, like on example 1, they're saying write the statement as an expression. They are not saying solve. So what they are doing here, and I'm going to get my pen out, is I have a statement, a sentence too in this case, and they're telling me what to do with it. It says add 7 and 2. So I know that I'm going to need to add, so I'm going to write the plus sign. What 2 numbers am I adding? I'm adding 7, and I'm adding 2. Then multiply by 3. Now, some of you might want to just go, okay, and then do your multiplication times 3. But in this case, we have to add these 2 numbers first. And because when I'm using PEMDAS, I know that multiplication comes before addition, I need to first put these numbers in parentheses. And then I have my expression. Notice I am not solving. Okay, so the next one, write the statement as an expression. Subtract 3 and 46 hundredths from 7 and 78 hundredths. Okay, so the first part is I start with my big number, 7 and 78 hundredths. Sorry for the sloppy writing, I'm doing my best. Subtract 3, that's a messy 3, Miss Tara, and 46 hundredths. Okay, so we did that. Awesome. Then divide by 2 and 63 hundredths. Well, remember, we talked about this. If I'm multiplying or dividing, it means I have to put these numbers in parentheses, right? Because subtraction usually comes after dividing or multiplying. But in this case, we want to do the subtraction first. Then I divide by 2 and 63 hundredths. Notice I am not solving, I am simply writing down my expression. Same thing for this last one. Okay? We're writing the statement as an expression. I subtract 1/6 from 5/6. Then I multiply. Okay? So, same idea. We'll take 5/6, subtract 1/6, put it in parentheses because it comes first, and divide by 7/8. Okay? Or multiply by 7/8. Then we're done. Over 8. Bam.